real power is given by VI cos theta. That I will show one more derivation here. So real power. Are you able to see? Real power equal to real power is represented with P. P equal to I square R. Okay, here I square R I am writing as IZ into I into R by Z. So real power here only resistor consumes the power. So coming to capacitor and inductor, they will exchange the power. So net power consumed by inductor and capacitor is equal to 0, but power is consumed only by the resistor. So here P equal to I square R. So here that can be written as I here Z is multiplied and divided. Okay, so IZ into I into R by Z. So here what is IZ? IZ is the supply voltage Vs. Next, what is R by Z? R by Z is cos theta. So here P equal to VI cos theta. So where V is the RMS value of the supply voltage, I is the RMS value of the current, and cos theta is the power factor. So P equal to VA cos theta. Like this also you can derive the expression for power. Next, in the last class, so if you take a RL circuit, so series RL circuit. So here yesterday I have not shown the waveforms. So here I shown only the phasor diagram, right? So for RL circuit, I have shown the phasor diagram. Now coming to the waveforms. See here waveform. So you can see here I have taken the current as reference. So here current waveform. See the current waveform. Wait. See the current waveform. See here, this is the current. So current waveform. So it is starting from 0. Why I have taken the current as reference means. So in this circuit, the current is common.
Sorry, computer search.
So what about remaining?
Blur on sir మొత్తం.
Blur ఉందా?
Yes, sir. ఏం ఓవర్లేదు సార్.
ఓకే నేను ఇది పంపిస్తాను తర్వాత పంపిస్తాను. Okay, here current waveform you can see here voltage waveform. This is the voltage waveform. So I have taken current as a reference. Current lags the voltage as it is a inductive load. So for the remaining, I will send the PDF. Okay, just 1 minute here. 1 minute explanation. See here. So V. So here current is the reference. So here if you multiply voltage and current, so you are going to get power like this. So positive portion is more, negative portion is less. Positive portion is more, negative portion is less, because it is a RL circuit. Now here if you find the average power, so average power will be positive. So average power is positive, it is given by VI cos theta. So this I will send the this picture I will send. Next, let us continue the class. Now are you able to see the screen?
Yes sir.
Okay. So that 2 pages I will send. Okay. Now power consumed is given by P equal to VI cos theta. Next, coming
ఇప్పుడు
to
వాయిస్ క్లియర్ రావట్లేదు సార్.
voice clear orla. Okay, are you able to hear now?
ఎస్ సార్.
Okay. So here, let us see the second problem. The voltage is given by this equation, 326 sin 314 t. Now here it is applied to certain circuit, and the current is, so the current equation is given. Find the frequency of voltage. So here, so voltage equation, compare it with Vm sin omega t. That means omega equal to 2 pi f. So 2 pi f is equal to 314. So omega equal to 314. F equal to omega by 2 pi. So you are going to get f as 50 hertz, right? So first bit frequency you have found out. Next, second one, phase angle between voltage and current. So phase angle between voltage and current, how you are going to find out? So here you have the voltage equation and you have the current equation. So here voltage is starting from 0, but current is starting from, so current is lagging. So here 1.3736 radians. So convert it into degrees, you are going to get 78.7 degrees. So phase angle is 78.7 degrees lag. As the current lags the voltage, so you can take theta as 78.7 degrees lag. Next, coming to third bit. What is the third bit? Resistance of the circuit. So for finding the resistance, first we have to find the impedance. Impedance is given by Vm by Im. V by I or Vm by Im. Both will be the same. So here Vm by Im, you are going to get Z equal to 163 ohms. Next. So after getting Z, you can find out R by using the power factor. R equal to Z cos phi, or you can use Z cos theta. Here R equal to Z cos theta. So here Z equal to 163 cos theta, that is cos 78.7 degrees. So you are going to get the value of the resistance, that is 32.2 ohm. So next topic is self-inductance. So coming to the definition of self-inductance, it is the property of a coil due to which an EMF is induced in the coil. It is a property of a coil due to which an EMF is induced in the coil when the current flowing through the coil changes. So when the current flowing through the coil changes, an EMF is induced in the coil. So here if you take an alternating current, it will be changing continuously. So EMF is induced in the coil when an alternating current flows through the coil. Is it clear? If a DC current flows through inductor, EMF will not be induced because the current will be constant. When a alternating current passes through a coil, then only EMF will be induced in the coil. So here, this is according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. So when you have an alternating current, you are going to have an alternating flux. When a changing flux links with a coil, EMF will be induced in the coil. Next up. So here, self-inductance means it is the property of a coil due to which an EMF is induced in the coil when the current flowing through the coil changes. So current flowing through the same coil. We are talking about the current flowing through the same coil in self-inductance. Now coming to mutual inductance. So two coils are said to have a mutual inductance. Here, two coils. Mutual inductance means two coils are said to have a mutual inductance when an EMF is induced in a coil due to change of current in other coil. So here mutual inductance, we are going to have two coils. So here current flowing in one of the coil changes, then EMF will be induced in the first coil and also EMF will be induced in the second coil also, because that alternating flux will also pass through the second coil which is nearby. So here two coils are said to have a mutual inductance when an EMF is induced in a coil due to change of current in other coil. So here if you have two coils and through one coil a current is flowing, an alternating current is flowing through one coil. So here in that first coil, EMF will be induced due to self-inductance, and here in the second coil, EMF here in the second coil also EMF will be induced because that flux also links with the second coil. So here two coils are said to have mutual inductance when an EMF is induced in a coil due to change of current in other coil. So EMF induced in the first coil is the self-induced EMF. EMF is induced in the second coil is the mutually induced EMF. So two coils are said to have mutual inductance. Next. So what is meant by self-induced EMF means the EMF induced in a coil due to change of magnetic flux of its own. So here you have two coils, A and B. So here first coil, in the first coil, where the first coil is connected to AC supply, so EMF will be induced in the first coil, that is self-induced EMF. So here this flux also passes through the second coil, so which is nearby, and here EMF induced in the second coil is the mutually induced EMF. Now here coefficient of coupling. So coefficient of coupling is given by K. So here if you see here, this you can go through. So M is given by K into root L1 L2. M is equal to K root L1 L2, where K is the coefficient of coupling. Next, let us go for the problem here. So two magnetically coupled coils have self inductances L1 and L2. L1 equal to 100 millihenry and L2 equal to 400 millihenry. If the coefficient of coupling is 0.8, that is the value of K. Find the value of mutual inductance between the coils. What would be the maximum possible mutual inductance? That is the second bit. Okay. Okay, you know that M equal to K into root of L1 L2. So here coefficient of coupling is 0.8, it is given. L1 is given, L2 is given. If you substitute, you are going to get the value of M. The value of M will be maximum when K equal to 1. So maximum mutual inductance is equal to root of L1 L2. So you are going to get as 200 millihenry. So next, let us see another problem. An AC voltage of 24 volts is connected to the primary, that is coil 1 of a two-winding transformer. So here in a transformer, the working principle is mutual inductance. So here two-winding transformer and the secondary coil is open circuited. The coil parameters R1, R2, N1, N2, Phi1, Phi2 are given. So you have to calculate the self-inductance of coil 1. So self-inductance of coil 1. So this problem will be covered in transformers. Okay. In unit 3, this problem will be covered. So here the units of flux are Webers. Phi1 is 0.01 Weber. The units of flux are Webers. So next, coming to protection of three-phase voltages. So production of three-phase voltages. So here for a single production of single phase voltage, that means production of alternating voltage, you have taken one coil. For production of three-phase voltages, you require three coils, and that three coils are 120 degrees apart. The three coils are 120 degrees apart. So if you see here, A1, A2 is one coil, B1, B2. See here, A1, A2 vertical, you can see a coil A1, A2. Okay. So after 120 degrees, you can see B1, B2. So here the coils are rotated in anti-clockwise direction with an angular speed of omega. So here 120 degrees in the clockwise direction. After A1, A2, after 120 degrees, you can see B1, B2. After 120 degrees, you can see C1, C2. So here these three coils are rotated, then you are going to have voltages V1, A2, V1, B2, V1, C2. So here you are going to have three-phase voltages: phase A voltage, phase B voltage, phase C voltage, and these voltages are having a phase difference of 120 degrees. So you are going to get three-phase voltages. Now here a three-phase generator has three separate but identical windings that are 120 degrees electrical apart and rotate in a common magnetic field. So they will rotate with an angular speed of omega in anti-clockwise direction in a common magnetic field. A three-phase generator will therefore produce three voltages of same magnitude and frequency but displays 120 degrees electrical from one another. So let us take a E1, A2. So E1, A2 equal to Em sin omega t. What about EB1, B2? So they are 120 degrees lagging. So here Em sin omega t minus 120 degrees. Similarly, EC1, C2, Em sin omega t minus 240 degrees. So you can see the phasor diagram. So here vertical line EA. After 120 degrees in clockwise direction, you are going to have EB. After 120 degrees, you are going to have EC. After EC again EA. So here this is the phasor diagram for three-phase voltages, and if you add these three voltages, you are going to get 0. So here the addition of phasors will be similar to that of addition of vectors. So if you add EA, EB, EC, just like vectors, you are going to get as 0. So here so why we have to take a three-phase? Why here? What are the advantages over single phase? See here, three-phase power is preferred over single-phase power for the following reason. So first one is to transmit the same amount of power over a fixed distance at a given voltage. The three-phase system requires only 3/4 the weight of copper. Only 3/4 the weight of copper that is required by single phase system. So here the amount of copper is, we are using less number of bytes, so amount of copper required is less. Next, the voltage regulation of a three-phase transmission line is better than that of a single phase line. So voltage regulation means so the change of voltage to the rated voltage. Would be less. That means voltage regulation of a three-phase transformer is better than that of single phase line. So here in three-phase transmission line, we are going to get constant voltage compared to single-phase voltage transmission. So as we are using number of lines, we are going less number of lines. So here it will be compact. Here, elementary three-phase alternator. In an actual three-phase alternator, the three windings of the coils are stationary and the field rotates. So already I told in a single-phase generator also. So here for a large generators, the field will be rotating and the coils will be stationary. So here in an actual three-phase alternator, the three-phase winding coils are stationary and the field rotates. So here the field rotates. You can see in the figure, the field rotates. In the center, the field will be rotating. So you have an electromagnet that will be producing the magnetic field, and that we are rotating the magnetic field. The magnetic field can be rotated by connecting by placing the field on a rotor. So the three identical coils A, B, and C are symmetrically placed in such a way that EMFs induced in them are displaced 120 degrees electrical from one another. Next, here you have two phase sequences. So here, what is meant by phase sequence? The order in which voltages in the three phases reach maximum positive values is called the phase sequence or phase order. So here it is the order in which the voltages in the three phases reach their maximum values is called phase sequence or phase order. So here you can see here the waveforms. First A phase is becoming maximum. Then after B phase voltage is becoming maximum. Then C phase voltage is becoming maximum. So here the phase sequence is ABC. Suppose if the field is rotated in opposite direction, then what happens? First A phase become maximum, then C phase, then B phase. So here the order in which the phase voltages reach their maximum value is called the phase sequence. So here the phase sequence is ABC. So here the order in which the voltages in the three phases reach their maximum positive values is called the phase sequence or phase order. So coming to interconnection of three phases. So interconnection of three phases. So here already we have seen three-phase transmission. It is compact and it uses less amount of copper, and the voltage regulation is better than that of a single phase. Next, how to connect the three phases. So we have three coils. So coil here, first coil A will be producing the phase A voltage. Coil B will be producing the phase B voltage. Similarly, coil C will be producing the phase C voltage. So here we require 6 wires for the transmission of power. So here this can be interconnected to form three-phase system. Thereby we are going to reduce the amount of copper required, and also we can transmit the power with a better voltage regulation. So here you can see here right side there are two types of connections. First one is the star connection, next one is the delta connection. So here in each coil, can you see start and finish points? Yeah, please respond. Yeah, can you see start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, thank you. So start, if you take a phase A voltage, you can see A dash. A dash are the terminals of the coil. So A is considered as the start point of the coil. A dash is considered as finish point. So start and finish. So if a load is connected, a current IA will be flowing through the load. EA is the voltage induced in the coil A. Next here, if the finish ends are connected together, if the finish ends are connected together to form the neutral wire, then the and here from A, B, and C, the wires are drawn, and here you are going to get a three-phase system. So this type of connection is called as star connection. So here the finish ends A dash, B dash, B dash, finish end of the coil, that is B dash, finish end of the coil C, that is C dash. If A dash, B dash, C dash are connected together to form the neutral point, and if you draw wires from A, B, and C terminals, then this becomes a star connection. Next, there is another connection called as delta connection. Now here you can see here, if you see the coil A, so you have the start and finish. The finish end of coil A is connected to the start end of coil B, and the finish end of coil B is connected to the start end of coil C, and the finish end of coil C is connected to the start end of coil A. So here, and the wires are drawn from the junctions A, B, and C, and here this is called as delta connection. So it looks like delta in a Greek letter delta. So this is called as delta connection. So first one is star connection or Y connection. Second one is the delta connection. So here see here. So two types of connection. First one is the connection, that is, or it is also called as Y connection. Second is the delta connection. It is also called as mesh connection. So it is represented with the Greek letter delta. Next, you have the phase voltage and line voltage. Now here in the diagram you can see here, if you see the first coil, so the voltage is EA. EA is the voltage, that is a phase voltage. Now here in the star connection also you can see EA, that is the phase voltage. It is a voltage between neutral and the start end of the coil, that is A. That means EA is the voltage between A phase and the neutral. A phase and the neutral. Or it is simply A and the neutral. Similarly, EB is the voltage between phase line B and the neutral. So EC is also the voltage between phase line C and the neutral. So A, B, C are the three phases. So here phase to neutral voltage is the phase voltage. Phase to neutral voltage is the phase voltage. So EA, EB, EC are the phase voltages. Now here coming to line voltage, what is meant by line voltage? The voltage between the line A and B. The voltage between the line A and B is the line voltage. That means phase to phase voltage is the line voltage. Phase to neutral voltage is the phase voltage. The voltage between any two phases is called the line voltage. So you can see here, EA is the voltage between the line A and the neutral. So here the voltage between the points A and B. Can you see the A, B, C points? Yeah, please respond. So here the voltage between A and B is the line voltage or line to line voltage or simply line voltage. Next, here you can see here. So voltages and currents in balanced star connection. Voltages and currents in the balanced star connection. So here in this, I will show the phase voltage and line voltage. So here, so I will use the laptop. Wait and just wait. So wait for 5 minutes. I will explain in the laptop. Yeah, meanwhile, go through the notes, second unit notes. Yeah, all of you go through the notes. Yes, are you able to see the screen? Yeah, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So here you can see here. So here ERN, here ERN is the phase voltage. Similarly EYN. So EYN is the phase voltage. Similarly EBN is the phase voltage. So here ERN, EYN and EBN are the phase voltages. Now coming to line voltages. So first, is it clear what is meant by phase voltage? So here phase voltage is the voltage between the line and the neutral. So here R, Y, B are the three lines. The voltage between any line and the neutral is called the phase voltage. So here the voltage between the line R and the neutral is the phase voltage ERN. Similarly, EYN is the phase voltage, EBN is the phase voltage. Next, coming to the line voltage. The voltage between any two lines is the line voltage. So here VRY. So here VRY is the line voltage. So here it is the line voltage. So here, so here, so here VRY is the line voltage. Similarly, VBR. After VRY, we have VYB. So VYB is the line voltage, and similarly VBR is the line voltage. So you have three phase voltages and three line voltages. So here VRY and VBY and VBR are the line voltages. So here you can see the currents. So this is about the voltages, phase voltages and the line voltages. Now coming to the currents. So the current flowing through this phase is the, so here IR is the phase current. IR is the phase current. Similarly, the current flowing through the line is the line current. Here in this case, phase current and line current both are same. But here you can see here the phase voltage and line voltage are different. Is it clear? First difference is, so here if you see these voltages, phase voltages and the line voltages, phase voltage is different from line voltage. But here the phase current is equal to the line current. The same here the phase current is IR. What about the line current? E is equal to IR. The same current will be flowing through phase and the line. You can go through this one. Next, I am going to get the relation between the line voltage and phase voltage. So the relation between line voltage and phase voltage that I am going to get now. So considering the lines R and Y, the voltage VRY is equal to the phasor difference of ERN and EYN. So here, if I want VRY, so this voltage I want, VRY I want. So if I want VRY, so how to get VRY? So VRY can be obtained by add ERN plus here. Actually VRY. Just wait. Come sir, program plan. Class 12, 12:20. So VRY is equal to VRN minus VYN. So here instead of VRN we have ERN minus EYN. So here you can directly take VRY is equal to, is it clear? VRY is equal to VRY. If I want to VRY, it can be obtained ERN minus EYN. So here this can be also be written as, see. So here what we have taken here, ERN minus EYN. So how to get a EYN? So here already you have, first to draw this phasor diagram, first you have to draw, first you have to draw this one, ERN. Next, second you have to draw with second you have to draw this one. So next, you have with 120 degrees, here put 120 degrees and draw EYN. Next with 120 degrees you write EBN, right? So after that, VRY is equal to ERN. So here ERN plus of minus EYN. Okay. Can you write like this? ERN plus of minus EYN. So EYN is here. Minus EYN is opposite direction. So if you add this two, ERN plus minus of EYN, you are going to get VRY. Now what is the angle between this VRY and EYN? Here, the angle between VRY and ERN is 30 degrees. You can see 30 degrees, right? So here this angle here, this is 120. So if you come this side here, you can see this is what about this angle? The center plane will be 60. So here this angle will be 60, right? So half of this will be 30. Okay, next. So we have drawn we have got the line voltage. So here VRY is the line voltage, whereas ERN is the phase voltage. Understood the phasor diagram? How to draw? Can you draw this one? Yeah, please respond. Okay, first you have to draw ERN. So with take a fixed length, some length with ERN you draw. With the same length draw EYN with 120 degrees phase shift. Next draw EBN with the same length but 120 degrees apart. So after drawing up ERN, EYN and EBN, next draw minus EYN and add this two. So how to add this two? So parallelogram, draw a parallelogram and extend this line. So you are going to get VRY. Similarly, you can draw VYB, VBR. These three you can draw. So now you have to get the relation between phase voltage and the line voltage. Now coming to the magnitude. So what is the magnitude here? So here you have to get the component of ERN. along VRY, and you have to get the component of minus EYN along VRY. So here we are going to get here. So 2EP, so here 2EP cos 60 by 2. So 2E phase cos 60 by 2 is the magnitude VRY. So here, so which is equal to root 3 V phase. So VRY is equal to root 3 V phase. Similarly, V by B is equal to root 3 V phase. So here you can see the points. Hence, in a balanced three-phase star connection, line voltage, the magnitude of the line voltage is equal to root 3 phase. Next, all the line voltages are equal in magnitude, that is root 3 phase, and displaced 120 degrees apart from one another. You can see from the phasor diagram. Next, the line voltages are 30 degrees ahead of their respective phase voltage. So the line voltages are 30 degrees ahead of their respective phase voltages. You can see here. So here this is the line voltage. The line voltages are 30 degrees ahead of their respective phase voltages. So in the anticlockwise direction, the angle is taken as positive. So here the line voltages are 30 degrees ahead of their respective phase voltages. So you can see the 30 degrees. So these are the points regarding the voltages. Now coming to the currents. So in the relation between the line current and phase current, the relation between line current and phase current in a star connection. So here you have, from the diagram you can see that line current is equal to phase current. The current flowing in the line is equal to current flowing in the phase. Now for balanced load, all the line currents are equal in magnitude but displaced by 120 degrees from one another. The angle between the line currents and the corresponding line voltages is 30 degrees plus or minus theta. So here the value of the theta depends upon the power factor of the load. So here if we will take plus if the power factor is lagging, and if we take minus for leading power factor load. That we are going to see in the problems. Here theta is the angle between, so here always remember theta is the phase angle between a phase voltage and the corresponding phase current. So here this is the phase voltage. So here EY is the phase voltage, EAN is the phase voltage, IA is the phase current. So angle between this is the theta. The theta depends upon the type of the load we connect. If we connect a resistive load, theta equal to 0. If you connect inductive load, so current lags the voltage. If you connect a capacitive load, in that case, so current leads the voltage. So here this diagram is for lagging load, that is inductive load, RL load. For a RL load, you have seen that current lags the voltage. Now here the angle between the IA and EAB is 30 plus theta. So for lagging, so here plus is plus. We are going to take plus if power factor is lagging. So this occurs for lagging loads, that is RL load. You can go through the notes. So series RL circuit, if you see series RL circuit, the angle between V and I, the angle between V and I is theta. The angle between V and I is theta. So here the angle between EAN and IA is theta. So here the angle between the line current and the corresponding line voltage is 30 degrees plus or minus theta, plus if power factor is lagging, minus if power factor is leading. So this is lagging, so the angle between EAB and IA is 30 plus theta. Next, this is one of the important one. Power, how to calculate power. So here total power, we are going to calculate the total power. Total power is equal to 3 into power in each phase. So 3 into power in each phase is equal to EPH IPH cos theta. E phase I phase cos theta. Where theta is the angle between E phase and I phase. Just like here, theta is the angle between E phase and I phase. So here for star connection, line current and phase current both are same. So it is represented with IA here. Now here you can write 3 E phase I phase cos theta. Now here already we have proved that for the star connection, E phase equal to VL by root 3 and I phase equal to IL. So here power is equal to 3 into, so substitute E phase equal to VL by root 3, I phase equal to IL as it is. So IL cos theta. So you are going to get root 3 VL IL cos theta. So here this is IL. So root 3 VL IL cos theta.
Sir, time up, sir. We have max class.
Okay, okay. So three phase power is equal to finally root 3 V phase I phase cos theta. So this is the three phase power. Okay. So next class I will in the next class I will continue. So this is sorry. So here root 3 VL IL cos theta. So power is equal to 3 V phase I phase cos theta, 3 phase power or total power. Total power is equal to 3 V phase I phase cos theta, which is equal to root 3 VL IL cos theta. So let me take the attendance.